1994, I suffered a severe traumatic brain injury, the effects of which are ongoing and permanent. I'll have them till the day I die. I have no peripheral vision to my left-hand side. I have epilepsy, which is treated but not fully cured, for want of a better phrase. My short-term memory's shot. My fatigue is chronic and daily. I could sleep 23 hours a day. Coordination down my left-hand side, appalling. I'm getting worse. Now, since December the 8th, 1994, I've been in receipt, or I was in receipt, of disability living allowance. All went swimmingly until that system was changed and employment support allowance was brought in, or ESA, to be initiated. Again, the initial turnover went fine, and I was in receipt of ESA for years, until it was reviewed in 2013, when after a subsequent appeal, that came later, stick with me folks, after review in 2013, I had to appeal because I was told that I was fit for work. Now, my situation hadn't changed. In fact, due to age, it had worsened. Now, as I just alluded to, I appealed and lost. Then I had to go to a court tribunal where the DWP's case was thrown out. In fact, the judge laughed as she threw it out because the amount of evidence I produced was overwhelming. So we forgot about it, carried on. Now, 6 months ago, the case was reviewed again, and I was told I was fit for work again, in some form, whatever that means. Now, I appealed and lost, and I've got to go to a tribunal again. Now, let's examine the evidence, and here's some of the evidence I produced for the DWP to look at. Bear in mind, I'm 25 years older and 25 years sicker, for want of a better phrase, than I was when I was awarded it in the first place. This is from my doctor. I'm just going to pick bits out because there's far too much. Mr. Nicholson previously suffered a traumatic brain injury in 1994, which was complicated by, and then she gives a long list of conditions. Now, this goes on for 2 pages until it concludes, I hope this information is of some help, because Mr. Nicholson remains significantly dependent on his wife, who previously gave up work to help support his needs, both cognitively and physically. That's just the first bit. My wife, who's filming this now, because I can't, is now my full-time carer. Yeah, I need a carer. That's number 1. This from another doctor. I won't read the whole letter again, but it concludes, I hope you are able to treat this appeal sympathetically, as his symptoms are long-term and disabling. But I'm fit for work, apparently. This is from the neurology department at my local hospital. Again, I'm picking bits out. Severe traumatic brain injury in 1994, causing to have epilepsy, tonic-clonic seizures, treatment with 2 agents. I assume that's medication, not James Bond and someone else. Complex partial seizures, sometimes frequent, severe trauma, tracheostomy, narrow windpipe, CPAP machine, tonsillectomy, blah 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 blah. Again, goes on for page upon page, and lots of treat with sympathy due to the long-term disabling effects. Number 2, long-term disabling, remember that. Here's what we know as a sick note. Sick note signing off work for a certain period of time, usually weekly, sometimes monthly or even daily. Mine has the phrase, let me find it, I'm still looking, stick with me folks. I'll let my wife help out. What does it say?
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely,
at the
there
bottom
you go.
left hand side.
No vision, memory, indefinitely. My sick note says, you are not fit for work, indefinitely. Totally ignored at the appeal. An indefinite sick note, totally, 100% ignored. Not even looked at. Finally, a court order. Dated 22nd of November 2013. and signed by the tribunal judge. The appellant was a credible witness and today provided me with a bundle of medical evidence confirming that he suffers regular petit mal seizures and very frequent ventricular ectopy. Both conditions are disabling, there's that word again people, and I've concluded that the appellant, by virtue of Regulation 35, is to be treated as having limited capability for work-related activity by reason of his conditions on the ground there would be substantial risk to his physical health if he were not so found. A court order totally and utterly ignored. A court order, a sick note, a letter from neurology, a letter from rehabilitation, a letter from a doctor, and one or two other bits and pieces regarding surgeries I've had, totally and utterly ignored. So my benefit's been stopped. Because I'm not in a particular group, my wife's care has been slashed by 50% as well. So I'm 50% worse off, my wife's 50% worse off, but the architect of all this, Ian Duncan Smith's getting a knighthood. A knighthood. A night's sleep for us would be good. See you, folks.